Hey, it's your girl Shimmering. Today I'm going to show you how I customize my units. Now today I have a 13 by 4 Angelaise frontal that is 16 inches and it is absolutely beautiful, but it don't listen in the front. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the inside. It has the basic 4 combs, 2 on the left, right, front, middle, all that. The lace is beautiful, but it needs to be bleached because the knots, you can see them. So I'm just use a 30 volume developer in my quick white that I got from a beauty supply store, and a mixing bowl as well as 2 little spatulas. Well, I only use one, but I bought 2. And first I'm going to spray the front with water. That stops the bleach from processing the actual hair because it's wet. Duh. And that way I don't have any blonde roots, which I end up having anyway. Why? Because I did not spray enough water. But I'm gonna look past that. And if you have any flyaways in the front, just go ahead, take a rat tail comb or your finger and just push them backwards. That way there aren't any, baby hairs that have a bleach on it. And then pull the hairs that's on the inside, just pull them right out because it's no sense. You can't see it on the outside anyway, so just tear them right on out. Okay, and I just went ahead and used 2 scoops. I use a little plastic spoon because I don't have a measuring spoon, and I ended up using a little bit too much of the powder and made it way too thick. But only thing you need to do to fix that is just balance it out with the cream developer, and just make sure you let it sit long enough because I let mine sit for about 10 minutes. Because it's a 30 volume developer, it needed to sit for at least 20 minutes. First, you're going to start off by rinsing all the excess off, and then make sure that you have a neutralizing shampoo because that will strip it of all the chemicals and stop the bleach from processing. And then I also have some Shimmering light shampoo, which is typically for blondes and silvers. It takes away the orange brassiness and from the bleach, so that's always good to use. And then I go after it with my regular shampoo. I like Garnier Frutis because it is cost effective and it smells good, so you can't really go wrong with that. You wash it well, not just the hair and the cap and the weave itself. Make sure you're washing the cap as well, just because all these products and chemicals are in it. You don't want that sitting on your head. And with the plucking process, listen, take it slow. I like to part mine off and pluck it accordingly, just because plucking it from the front is not enough. You got to get behind the baby hairline, quote unquote, and continue to keep plucking. So even after you dried it, you styled it, and you still feel it needs some more plucking, do not hesitate to keep plucking. Okay, there's no perfect way to pluck, but you need to make sure that your hairline looks as realistic as possible as you can get it. So I have a widow's peak, so I try to follow my own hairline a little bit, but I have a deep widow's peak, so sometimes I don't like to follow it exactly because plucking is a very, very long process. Just because you see it happening fast right here, when I mean take your time, please take your time. It's very tedious. You can rip your lace, you can over pluck too much. So the 2 words I can give you: precision is key. Make sure you know what you're doing with your tweezers. If you use, your own hands, that's fine. I do that, but I typically only do that if the hair is dry, because when it's wet, it's a lot easier to pluck. So along with plucking, you need to comb it all back, and keep checking your work just to see how it's coming out. Do one side at a time. That way you can be able to see the difference, so you don't feel like you're plucking for years and nothing is happening. Trust me, something is happening. So just keep plucking. You see, I'm collecting the hair in my hand because I like to see how much I pluck so I know that I did a good job. I don't know about anybody else, but I need to. And this is me acting like I'm blow drying the hair on the wig stand. I end up taking it off because it just kept slipping. It was just annoying. And this is the end result. It's so beautiful. Look at that movement. Yes. And I'm going to straighten it on 400. I have this little, hair serum, whatever the heck it's called. I'll link it down below. And because that little travel size was $14, I would not suggest getting that one. I use the Garnier Frutis straightening mist. I'll make sure I link that down below as well because that one works a little bit better to me. I mean, the hair serum locks in the moisture, quote unquote. But yeah, just make sure you're pressing it out. I like to do the one pass just because it's the best. And again, like I said, these ends, yeah, they need to be clipped. But don't worry about that. It will be taken care of after I finish pressing out the top. And I ended up using way too much wax on this hair. This is the wax in question. The wax is absolutely bomb. I love Shia's Bomb. I use their, I don't know if it's like an edge gel, whatever. You can use it to glue down your wigs. It's wonderful. I think it's called edge glue, something like that. Whatever. I can't remember what the name of it is right now, but I use that and I use their edge control. And when I tell you this line ain't nothing to play with, nothing to play with. Not sponsored. I will go to my local beauty supply store to go get Shia's Bomb just because she is bomb, okay? And she does what she needs to do. I just use too much of it in the front of this frontal. You see that glue? Ooh, but it slicks. It slicks it. It does do that. It got the flyaways down, which I wanted, but the mobility that I like to have in my frontal, I just didn't have that. But you see how beautiful it shines? So pretty. It just had it stuck. But it's perfect for if like you girls that likes to do the long middle parts and you don't want not one hair out of place. Use She Bomb. She is bomb. Like I'm telling you, it will have look at that. From the beginning to now, you see the difference of how it has it slicked. Because I do the one press, add the wax, and then do the hot comb. It slicks that baby down. You see that? This would be cute if I would use this for like a ponytail or something and things like that. Honestly, I could have did a bang with this. I should have did a bang with this. I mean, it's not like it's not too late. I still got the hair. But this is where I'm going in with the front. Now, the key part to having a flat install is the wax. The only place I don't regret using that wax is in the front because the flyaways on this was ridiculous. So right here, this is how you get it to be slick, 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 flat. Not only do you hot comb the back, you want to make sure you do it on the baby hairs too. Just because when you go to put it on your head, it may separate a little bit. Again, like I said, there's no point in the process where it is too late to pluck. If you need to pluck, keep plucking. I'm telling you. If something doesn't look right, just go in and correct it. This is what I'm doing here. Just because it looks different from when it's wet to when it's fluffy and full. So if you need to keep plucking, girl, keep plucking. I'm trying to tell you. There's no wrong way to do it. I'd rather go back in and pluck again than seeing that I've overplucked. Because guess what? I'm not putting in no knots and no frontal. I am not in the business of making frontals. So I'd rather underpluck and fix it than overpluck and look like my scalp is bald with my wig. I don't want that. This is my favorite part right here, the baby hairs. if you don't like big dramatic baby hairs, then baby, this part ain't for you. Okay? Because I love baby hairs. It just adds extraness. That's it. That's the sentence. Extraness. I love it. If you don't like big dramatic baby hairs, you don't have to do them. And you also don't have to watch this part. You can go ahead and fast forward to me doing the curls. But to the girls that like the baby hairs, this one's for you. And I like to use some type of razor. I would not suggest using scissors, just because it might do a little straight. I like it to be a little rugged. Why? I don't know. And I do it long like this at first purposely because I don't want it to be too short. I know that I don't make things clear. I fall for you every time I try to resist you. Get away. And clip the ends because the ends was looking real straggly, and you can't do curls in here when the ends are not great. So just make sure if you have a unit where the ends you don't like them, don't worry, just clip it, because 9 times out of 10 with these blended units, the length is over true. So if it's like a 12 inch, it'll be closer to a 16. When it's a 16 inch, it's closer to a 20. When it's a 20 inch, it's closer to a 30. And at least in my instances, I've seen that it's been longer than what they say. 'Cause sometimes it's, the stretched length versus the unstretched. It's typically what they end up going by. Well, because this was a straight unit, it still was a little bit longer than I expected it to be, and I actually loved it, even though I'm gonna cut it. So, I like to use a little bit of a holding spray just because, it just does what it's supposed to do. Hold the curl. Now this hair holds the curl beautifully, but my curls end up dropping. So there's that. But other than that, it's good. The holding spray that I use is like it's called Ion. I think it's like a medium hold. It's not like something too drastic like a Gots to Be, which I should have sprayed in this to hold it a little bit better, but it is good.
dip me underway. Fill my mouth with love and I will flow. Hold me till I scream forever.
And this is my favorite part. I'm just checking to make sure my little hot comb, not hot comb, my little flat irons are nice and ready to curl my baby hairs. Again, if you don't like dramatic baby hairs, baby, this ain't for you. So the girls that love baby's hairs, this is just for you. Now, I use the same method that Tay does, and I curl them. And it's nice and fluffy. And then you see, this is why I do not cut them too short, because I don't know exactly what length I want. So I end up curling it and seeing, and then going through my little shears and cutting it down. And this one does not like to cooperate because I try to curl it like 5 different ways, but eventually it listens. And then I just continue on. And you see, I just whoop whoop with the shears. It takes 2 seconds, so that's why I like to use the shears. I used to use like the eyebrow razor because that's just as good, even to cut your lace. If you don't have scissors and you have an eyebrow razor, you can use that. And I know y'all seen how perfectly that one curled up. I ended up not even keeping all my baby hairs like this because I tried to put them down without mousse. Rule number 1, always have mousse for your baby hairs because you need it. Okay, long story short, you need it. There's no other way to put that. Now I'm just cutting the lace. Now I like to do it in sections. I cut a little bit close and not all the way, just because for one, I cannot see, if you cannot tell, the laces on my eyelashes. So I cut it a little bit close to where it's not all the way to the hairline. That way, once I'm trying to lay it down or what have you, or I have in a comfortable spot on my head, I can go back and just trim it. So cut not too close, especially if you don't know how to cut your lace. Some people cut it when it's off their head. My head is kind of weird, especially with how my edges are, because again, I have a widow's peak. So the edges part that are near my temples are a little bit further out. So I cannot just cut it because then my real edges will be out. So again, cut it based on your hairline and your comfortability. Some people take like a little white eye pencil or something and they trace out where their hairline is. I don't got no time for that. And also, I'm not using my good eyeliner to put it on my forehead. Absolutely not. So this is the method I use. I cut it in at least 4 sections, and right now what I'm about to do, I'm about to pin up the side. That way I can cut it by the ear without cutting myself, my baby hairs, or my leg. So I got all the lace off. I just moved my forehead because I got a big forehead, and again, my edges on the side. And this is where I'm going in trimming it, and then I use my Ebon Lace Bond spray. This is such a great spray. I haven't used glue in forever just because I don't keep these units on long and I like to take them off my head. So this is a good temporary hold that has it sticky enough, but you do need a blow dryer. I did this without a blow dryer. Don't do that. Use your blow dryer, please, so it could dry efficiently and it'll be just stuck. But I do like it, but the only thing, it does not melt the lace like I like it. So I end up following up after with some Gots to Be glue spray. Now, a lot of people have a lot of vendettas against Gots to Be. I personally don't. I use it right over, and also I do not use the bald cap method. I used to, but it was taking my edges out. And there's my little sister. Don't mind her. She was bringing me the blow dryer that I ended up not using. So yeah, Thanks, Eunice. And again, I'm just trying to get the ends down. I did not get the parts by my ear down correctly because I did not use my blow dryer. I'm sitting here trying to hold it with the comb like it makes a difference. It made no difference if you couldn't tell. But again, I did get it stuck enough to where it, I can get through this video and get out the door because I was doing my hair the whole day this day and I was supposed to be going somewhere. Guess who was the one to be ready? Not at the right time. But and here you see the ear flap is up, and I should have cut a little bit more lace off the ear, but I was fed up at this point, just didn't care. And this is me trying to get that one little spot down and ended up getting it. And here it's all down, and I'm going in with the Gots to Be just to melt it down a little bit more. And again, I did all this with no blow dryer. Please don't do that. Use a blow dryer with the applicator tip so you do not burn your forehead. Yeah, them edges was a mess, so I had to pull them back. You don't want too much edges in there, but you want just enough to where it, yeah, this me talking to my sister, just don't mind that. Just enough to where it can blend in, you know what I mean? And again, don't do what I did. Make sure you have some mousse. It'll go a lot easier. I was trying to do this without it, and I ended up pulling out some edge control that did not help either. So, yeah, minimal effort gets minimal results. So again, blow dryer, mousse, no thick baby hairs, everything that you need. Again, this is the end part where you can see that I use way too much wax on my hair, but either way, we got it done. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for the review on this wig.